morning, wherever you are, and welcome to Nerd Tube. We are talking Lower Decks, Season 2, Episode 9.
Is it 9 or 8?
Um, I think it could be 8 or 9. I think it's 8. 8.
Yeah, because
Hello there, Dixie. This is what Dixie looks like.
Hello.
Excretus, I think. Is that how you say, is that how you pronounce it? Excretus? Whoever Boimler ended up being at the end of the episode when he became a boy.
it was the episode was if you hadn't asked me, I could have told you because it was a pun on a word. And
Yeah, I got it. Excretus.
Yeah. Oh gosh.
I got it right here. I can see. I can spell it out for you. Excretus.
Okay, so Excretus.
Okie dokie. I wasn't able to say that particular word, but nevertheless, that was the episode.
Which I think meant at the hidden jest was excretion.
Well, it was, in my opinion, one of the funniest episodes of Lower Decks I've ever seen. When it comes to, like Easter eggs galore, references galore, this episode had it all. Basically, this episode is about a particular. What's the name of the alien race? The Promenade.
Yeah, it was something along those that had it splits in 3 different.
Yeah, this race of alien was actually seen in the animated series, and I like the way that this animated series uses stuff from the original animated series for a lot of its references and storylines. So this was another one of those, and this particular race of alien can split its head, body, and legs apart in 3 different ways. And the lower decks, sorry, not lower decks, but the Cerritos is going through some sort of drill. And they're basically having to understand each other and understand themselves and see how capable they are and be in different scenarios and yada, yada, yada. So the lower decks in this particular circumstance have been given drills as high-ranking officers, and the high-ranking officers have been given drills as lower decks. It's just a nice little spin on things.
Isn't that a Boxer Day type thing? Is that how that works, where people exchange or reverse roles, or is Boxing Day different?
Boxing Day is basically in the UK is the day after Christmas Day, and Boxing Day also would tend to be like the servants' holiday initially. That's what it was all about. Like back in the day when the lower class people or the working class people would have to basically tend to the needs of the rich and the powerful, their Christmas Day would be the following day, and that was Boxing Day.
I thought there was a type of time where you guys reversed roles, where
in this particular culture of the UK, I'm not so sure. There might be some sort of historical thing, but I'm not aware of it myself personally. Not recently.
That sounds very Canadian.
Yeah, very Canadian. Actually, I could see that because they'd blow you up and apologize. But anyways,
okay.
Our neighbors to the north are wonderful people. Don't get me wrong. I'm in the U.S.
I love Canada. I've been there several times. It's a nice part of the world. Nice maple syrup. Oh. And I once had these ribs that were so big I felt like I was in the fucking episode of the Flintstones. Anyways,
makes sense because they will feed you in Canada.
Yes. So
sorry I derailed it. So
no problem at all. So the lower decks crew members had to go through all of these drills, and it was interesting at first because we had just I didn't know how long each drill was going to last. So when we see Mariner thrown into this hollow pod, and she's been put in a situation where she's in the Terran universe. It was quite amusing. We come across evil versions of the Cerritos crew. They all have beards and mustaches. That's how you know they're evil, which I did very much appreciate. And then when Boimler figured out that Mariner was not the Mariner from his universe because she did a salute with her left hand, not her right hand, I like the way he made that noise. Like, "Oh," you know what that reminded me of? That reminded me of Invasion of the Body Snatchers.
Yep. What's his the guy who played Oddball? Yeah, Donald Sutherland.
Donald Sutherland. Yeah, so when he went like that, I was, I was laughing so much because they're using pop culture references, which not even from Star Trek as well, which I really like. But I like the way Mariner, before she got caught, was going around going, "Yes, I'm evil. I like to do evil things. You know, evil gets me horny," and all of that. And I very much appreciated it. But because she fucked up her salute, she immediately failed, which I also I liked as well. And then we got to see Rutherford having to deal with the warp core or some shit like that. He's now chief engineer in this particular scenario. And we got called back to what Rafa Khan, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you see the old school alien suits and stuff like that, and he immediately feels he's, you know, I guess what's the term? You know, when you can be endangered in the holodeck, the safety parameters.
Yeah,
safety
protocols.
Safety protocols.
They were taken off because he was burning his hands when he was trying to enter the warp course, and you would have thought he would have known better, but he just went in there, took his boots off. He used his boots as a way of opening the door so he wouldn't burn his hands. And then the ship exploded. We have Tendi. This one made me laugh the most. This Klingon broke his back picking up a peanut. I died with laughter hearing that. Yeah, and then like this Klingon wants to be killed. You know, whilst Tendi wants to help this person, but she's losing points by wanting to help this person and not killing this person. And then she tries to kill him in a humane way, but no, he wants to be stabbed to death. You know, it was absolutely funny. And because he lived, she failed. Because he lived, even though he wanted to die. But we see Boimler have all four of the lower decks crew, you know, passing his course, getting 79%, not happy with it, and keep repeating. And I thought the trope was he was going to fail at one point, but he didn't. I like the fact that he just kept getting better and better at it and saving people. And this is really good, you know, character growth for Boimler, in my opinion. We're seeing him develop. We saw him last week, how he dealt with the evil robot, and now this week how he's dealing with the Borg and so on. He's definitely somebody who's improving as a character. But from this early part of the episode, with them being left stranded at the very beginning in the cold opening, to all of that, how did you find this episode so far, Admiral Grimson?
Yeah, no, it was funny when Cheeto was saying, I haven't seen this episode yet. I felt like saying, yeah, you have, because every scenario that they had in there directly went to an episode. The where she was humanely trying to kill a Klingon, that was Worf, who got hit on a barrel in Next Gen and lost
Stacking
his
boxes.
one came down and broke it, and he wanted to kill, have his son kill him and have Riker actually be the one who did it, because he didn't think his son should do it. And that was the whole episode with him relearning to walk. But everything was just hilarious the way they did it. Boimler with that definitely was dealing with Picard and Excretus and everything else from that time frame. What I really enjoyed was the fact that they took that and they brought it out and they gave it such, Mariner falling off the horse and getting stampled, in that Western. And that came from the holodeck where Worf was a cowboy and his son was with him, and
that was the one with all the data, a fistful of datas.
Yeah, fistful of datas. I mean, it's just fantastic. And then, of course, you turn around to the officers who are sleeping in the lower decks, and saying, "Oh, this is life and everything else." And then all of a sudden, they're called to duty and everything else. And wow, we're getting attacked by Klingons. What are they doing? They're stacking barrels in the hold while all the action.
And the Q comes along.
Yeah,
the Q comes along, and then still having to stack stuff, and and you can see how awkwardly designed the crates are. It's not really designed for stacking. Oh, the Jem'Hadar still having to stack stuff. Yeah, it's just absolutely hilarious. Like the scenarios and situations they've been put in. But
one of the things on lower decks that I think that you really have to kind of know a lot of Star Trek lore to really enjoy some of that, because if you're just picking this up and you've never seen an episode of Star Trek and just watching lower decks, you're missing so much of
it's going to go over your head.
Yeah.
And the funny thing is, Admiral, is that a lot of stuff does go over my head. Like there's stuff where unless I watch somebody else review it, like Trek Culture or Jesse Gender, when I watch them review an episode of Lower Decks, they mention stuff that I just totally missed. Because even though I pick up on so much stuff as it is, a lot of stuff does pass me by. I don't catch everything, and I'm somebody who's seen every episode of Star Trek. So like yourself. So, and hopefully Dixie will too one day. So it's amazing how many references there are, and how it's wellly sewn in and weaved into the plot and into the script. At the same time, it's just absolutely brilliant, and they put that comical twist on it as well. Genius, absolute genius. I don't think, like I said before, not enough people give this show enough credit. Even Star Trek fans don't give this show enough credit. Sometimes their perspective of the show is it's just Easter eggs and stuff like that. But it is Star Trek in the day, and however they do things, if it can make you laugh as a Star Trek fan, you get the jokes, you understand what they're portraying, then it's genius in my opinion. Obviously they're going to use Easter eggs and references. How else are they going to get their fucking jokes?
Yeah, exactly.
So, yeah. There's only so many poop jokes you can do and stuff like that, but they have to. Nevertheless, all the lower decks are failing except for Boimler, who is who's obsessed in getting 100%, and the bridge crew, who are being lower decks in this particular episode, are failing as well. I believe they weren't doing too well either. They couldn't stack the crates, which is what they were supposed to do. And then apparently they feel that Freeman and Mariner, mum and daughter, they believe that they've learnt the life lessons of this exercise, that it's not really about passing and failing. It's just about appreciating each other's positions. Once you've been taken out of your position and put into their position, you appreciate what each other does. And that's what the moral of the story was supposed to be, but I knew it wasn't going to go down like that. It was too obvious. I knew, and I'm so happy it didn't go down like that, because when they came across that alien woman who was doing the drills, they found out, I will be going to sleep soon, mate. I'm fucking tired. I will be going to sleep soon.
Yeah, you look really tired.
Yeah, I've been entertaining a bird. But nevertheless, they go to the alien woman who's been doing these drills, and she has an evil, sinister laugh, and the whole point is that all these drills they're doing have been passed with flying colors by other starships. So she's been trying to keep her job as some sort of drill instructor with these drills that she's created. But if they keep getting passed by other people, then they're probably not very good. So she's purposely making the Cerritos fail in the drills, which is in a way, which would probably mean that the Cerritos crew would then all be split up and given new jobs and so on, which they don't want to do. But she has sabotaged these drills in the first place, so there is an issue there. But she can't submit the scores until Boimler has finished his drill. And Boimler is just about to get his 100% finally. He's finally about to get his 100% when Freeman tells him, Boimler, you better stay there and continue your drill because we haven't finished yet, and so on. And then he gets his 100% turns into 99 and all of that. So he's having to deal with all of that. And then they take this alien lady and they take her to some real life scenarios so they can make her understand. And they almost like in a way blackmail her with the fear of death to make them pass. And so they go to the crystal entity. Now, this is the thing. I always thought the crystal entity was one entity. Yeah, it wasn't multiple entities. It was one unique entity. But apparently those crystal entities all over the fucking place, which is a bit unique.
I think that was the premise that they ran into one crystalline entity, but they were trying to make contact with it, and they destroyed it, but they felt that there were probably others out there at the time. It never was clearly defined, but it kind of was implied.
Well, yeah, that was Next Generation, wasn't it? The crystal entity.
Yeah. And so, because like this person in Dixie, because this person in this episode is trying to sabotage the Cerritos by making them fail their drills, so she can have a job as she can have a job as a drill instructor. The Cerritos crew decides to give them a pass, pass their drills by putting her in scary situations, real life situations, not holographic ones, which they were doing in the course of this episode. Mm-hmm. So the next thing they do is that they take her to a black hole, and it's an unstable black hole or some shit like that, and they're getting sucked into it and stuff, and then finally she gives in. And then all Rutherford had to do was move the ship a few inches over here, and all of a sudden they're no longer being sucked in by the black hole anymore. But by that time, the lady who's the drill instructor lady, who is being sabotaging her drill so the Cerritos can fail, so she can have a career as a drill instructor, she finally gives in and makes the Cerritos pass, which was interesting. And if anything, that was a better way. It made sense because they were put in real life hazardous situations, and Freeman dealt with them. She dealt with them no problem. Mm-hmm. So, if anything, it was a good reason to make a pass in the first place. So I loved all of that. How did you find Did you find that, Admiral?
Looking at it from actually a point of view, when I was in manufacturing, it showed me a principle that I always dealt with is you take somebody like the drill instructor who learned all these scenarios and everything else out of a book and put them in a training environment, and they can train, but put them in a real environment without any actual experience where they blow apart. And my thoughts were, I was in quality assurance for 30 years. And I worked manufacturing, and we would get these college kids in. Nothing wrong with college kids and stuff like that coming in, but they would put them in charge of the floor, and they would have no idea what they were doing because they were book learned on all the formulas and stuff like that. And I always said to myself, if I was designing a course, the last year of anyone in business or we're planning to go into manufacturing, that last whole year they would be required to work for a company from hacking the product all the way up during that year to find out the ins and outs of what actually happens on the floor. So that's what I took away from that, is that was a perfect example to me, because they did take the real life, and were able to perform because they do it every day. It's just one of those things, you're used to doing it. You grew up in that culture. So
Yeah, I agree. I mean, sometimes all the training in the world will never ever prepare you for real life, and the real life is the real training, in my opinion. Having to deal with real life situations, real life scenarios, and that drill instructor wasn't ready for real life, and that's why she shat her pants, and she was relying on the very people that she was planning on failing her, on failing to get her out of those scenarios, and they were taking it in their stride, which is what I very much appreciated. Good morning, cousin Burrito. How you doing?
What's up, dogs?
Yes. Well, nice to see you with your wife beater on. Have you?
It's an undershirt. Wife beater
Yeah.
is with the.
Yes, it's a vest.
Yeah, what you call I saw what you call a vest.
Yeah, fair enough.
A vest mate.
Well,
Sylvester.
Sylvester.
Just sounded good.
Oh.
Okay. Well, what did you think of this episode?
I thought it was pretty good. A lot of fun, a lot of callbacks, a lot of. I mean, this was Easter egg central, like they like to do normally. Good middle of the road episode. I didn't think it was anything spectacular. I didn't think it was anything terrible at all. I love when they throw these like races at us that we know they never could get away with in live action. Like with this chick that like her body goes into 3 pieces. Has that ever been referenced?
Animated. She's from the animated series.
Okay, well then that's what I figured. It was a throwback either to the original series or the original animated series.
Yeah, I hadn't seen her before, so it must have been an animated series.
Yeah, and I haven't seen. I haven't seen it in a long time. But
even the way she talks, like this one and all of that, when she's referring to herself almost like in the third person, that's how they talk as well in the animated series.
Sort of like the Queen.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, I'm like, okay, this is either a brand new thing but I love it's just like, yeah, they can get it without, they can get away with doing stuff like that easily, without it being, not animated. Well, yeah, it being the animated series. So it's fun, but I really look forward to seeing in like maybe Discovery or Strange New World some of these races that now that they're bringing back to light on Lower Decks that were in like the animated series that they got away with it in the 60s. I want them to bring them into into Strange New Worlds and all these other things so we can see what they look like in real life, because even the Cadians, they were in I think 2 movies. I think they were in The Voyage Home and Star Trek 6 or 3. I don't remember. But the Cadians, I know they were in 4. They were in the Voyage Home. And I mean, I kind of want to see more of them now. Like I'm like I love the dog.
I've never liked that race. The fact that they're basically walking cats, walking.
That's because Sam, you have a bird and you don't like cats. So
no, I not that at all. But I have a real issue with aliens that look like human animals. Sorry, not Earth animals. Like alien, like lizard people, like fucking cats and stuff. Like, I mean,
you dirty furry hater.
No, it's not that at all. I just feel like it's too close to home for it to be alien.
Apparently, they don't have furry conventions in England.
Nope, not.
He's a furry. This guy here, he's a classic furry, by the way. And there's no. I'm just saying, just pointing it out. I'm nothing wrong in that. Just want to make sure.
No.
Nothing wrong in that at all. But are you still doing that sort of shit, by the way, Dixie?
Sort of, kind of. I mean, I'm not like really focused on it. I do have a persona, as they say, but yeah.
Fair enough. So it wasn't just like a phase. You still
no. I am, but I'm not like as whatever on it.
Fair enough. So you should see that rabbit from Star Wars Visions. There's a rabbit Jedi.
I have not seen that.
It's on Disney Plus. So anyway. Sorry, I apologize. Go on, Cheeto. Any more you want to say about this episode, like earlier on in the episode?
I mean, I felt like this episode was made directly for the trailers, because everything we saw, like everything we're like, oh, the Borg, oh, they left them on that satellite. All these things that we thought were coming this season as like individual episodes were like all in this episode. So I feel like they made this episode. They're like, this is the trailer episode. We're just jamming a bunch of like crazy stuff in this episode, and this is going to be like our trailer episode that we pull a lot of stuff from.
It's very
So
clever.
yeah, basically a fan service episode.
I mean, that's what almost every episode is, which I love. They do it in such a good way, though.
Yeah, I think as we said earlier, like I think sometimes people discredit it by saying how much fan service it offers, but at the same time, it's done so well that you appreciate how it's portrayed. So yeah, an ensign. This person asked me bandits, asked me an ensign. An ensign is a low-ranking officer, and that's what I am, a low-ranking officer.
It's
I'm
okay.
a lower
We
step.
got Admiral Grissom up there, so I mean, you know, we all gotta be on our best. But if we do these training, I guess it would be Ensign Grissom and Admiral Zam.
And they're done at.
Yeah, I'll be Field Marshal.
Yes. And I can tell you a story why the United States doesn't have a field marshal, but that's for another time.
Oh no, I want to hear.
Okay. Very simple. When World War II rolled around, we only had the highest rank at that point in time was a 4-star general. Yep. When we got to the point where we had to have somebody who was over the entire section, so it would make it a field marshal. In that respect, the top general's last name was General Marshall, and he refused to be called Field Marshal, and that is fact. That is fact.
That makes sense.
That is amazing. That's
like
amazing.
That tracks with human psychology.
It's just like Catch-22, Major. If you've ever watched Catch-22, so of course.
Oh, by the way, Cousin Cheeto, I saw like a little furry thing. Up there it is, right there.
About my dog?
Yep, your dog. Your dog needs pets.
Riker.
There you go.
Let me get my bird. Oi, Daxie, stop hiding in those boxes.
My cats are being lazy and hiding right now, so I can't.
Yeah, it's quite late for my bird. Actually, I forgot how late it would be. She's
it's like
to sleep.
Midnight over there, isn't it, or something?
12:30. Yeah.
Yeah.
So.
Well, you're lucky. It's not critical, not cynical.
Yeah. For sure.
Yeah. Tomorrow we're going to be doing a Dominion one called Red Medusa. So I got to put that up.
Oh, that sounds fascinating. But going back to this episode, so the drillist was the baddie of this episode. But prior to all of that, we got some really funny moments. I like the fact that when Mariner was taking her first shot on the holodeck thing, she had to go through the Cerritos, and apparently everyone's being infected by this sex disease. Was that one of the episodes? I can't remember.
Oh yes, Naked Time.
Naked Now.
Yeah, Naked Time, and it was reprised in Next Generation.
How can I not remember this?
But, that's when Sulu was
running around with
a sword.
Is that the one with Tasha fuck Data?
Yeah. That was the second one, but the first one, Naked Time, was TOS, and they landed on it, and Sulu started running around, bare shirt, flying with a sword across the place. As a matter of fact, one of my favorite
that's
scenes
the one where he's like samurai sword shit.
Yeah, one of my favorite scenes is he confronts Kirk, and Kirk puts his finger on the top of the foil, and he went, okay, and walked back like, yeah, that's a real thing there. And he was chasing people around, and they had found a space station that had a.
I remember now. Remember now. I thought that little scene was hilarious because we're seeing everyone making out, where and Boimler is like spread eagled, and like she purposely wanted to fail. she jettisons herself outside of the airlock so she can fail.
That was the moment I lost it.
Yeah.
I just lost it. I'm like, she's like, fail me. It's like, why is it still going? You got Jax running around. He's like, yeah.
Oh, God.
And then at that moment on the bridge when she's looking at him,
Yeah.
all of a sudden.
Yeah, I just thought I'd watch a whole episode. Like, I don't care if it's like a third time like we've seen this disease. I would watch a whole episode based on that disease on the Cerritos. Like,
geez. Yeah, that one would be incredible.
I was actually I got flashbacks of that episode of The Simpsons where Homer Simpson sees Ned Flanders, and he almost looks at him very erotically, like, because Ned Flanders is in good shape. And then when we see Mariner looking at Shanks, trying to stretch and stuff like that, and then she reminds her of him being naked in that particular holodeck program as well. Absolutely fucking hilarious. I loved it. I absolutely loved it. I
knew they were going to smash the Cerritos into the doors as they were arguing.
I mean,
that was no brainer. They're not going to open the doors.
But yeah, it was overall it was a very good episode. I like the way that even though the moral of the story was the crew, appreciating each other's positions, that wasn't what the drill instructor's intentions was. But at the same time, they still got together anyway to teach the drill instructor a lesson of her own, and they ended up getting what they wanted, which was to all still be on the Cerritos, which I very much appreciated.
I thought that that part was a little wonky, and it's not that I hated it. It kind of lost me when they're like, oh, let's go to this black hole. Let's go to these 4 crystalline entities that are banging or whatever was going on there. And I'm like,
you didn't like that?
I didn't like that bit. I really didn't like that bit.
I like the fact that I liked it. I personally liked the fact that when it came to actually dealing with actual scenarios and situations, it was just another day in the office for these guys. And the drill instructor who's dealing with fake scenarios, she couldn't handle it. And the Cerritos handled it very well, which kind of showed that if you look at it from a different perspective, that even though they're putting these drills and they're faking and they're failing, you put them in real life situations and they're passing with flying colors. They're doing it without breaking a sweat. It shows you how competent they are, if anything. So I very much appreciated it from that perspective. So I've been asked if you're sitting in an internet cafe, by the way, Admiral Grimson.
No, I'm not sitting in a internet cafe. I'm actually
on the green screen.
I'm on the green screen. Da!
And Dixie,
Yes.
is that apparently you're in the locker room?
Apparently so, according to Bandit.
What the hell is that shit? What is that shit on your left side?
Over there?
Yeah, what was all that?
It's a cube cabinet, basically.
Okay, it's bulgy. It looks like it's bursting from the seams.
Yeah, we got a lot of clothes and stuff in there. Plus, we keep some of the doors open because the cats like to go in there too. So, yeah.
Fair enough.
And
so
I just want to say that I'm having a freaking hard time picking what images. I usually use about 3 images from the episode to make a thumbnail for it. And I know I'm late and I'm working on the thumbnail now, but I'm having a hard time picking 3 images.
You have to put an image of Shax being naked like this, for sure.
If I can find it, I'll get it.
Yeah. I would say definitely
Andy.
Yeah, I guess, but I would definitely have the drill instructor lady her body being split in 3 different places, and maybe Boimler spread eagled like that with the.
No, you can't have 2 naked references. You got to pick either spread eagle or Shax, whichever.
Okay, Shax.
I would have maybe Boimler with the Locutus.
Yeah, definitely Boimler with the Locutus.
He didn't call himself Locutus. He called himself.
We went through that
Excretus,
which
excrement.
Yeah, let's see. You have
Cheetah. What is the paper on your wall? It looks like that notice board over your right shoulder.
Oh, that's my girlfriend. She has a cork board right there. It is a calendar to feed the lizards.
Oh, lovely.
Oh, what kind of lizards?
Leopard skin geckos.
Cool.
Gotcha.
Oh yeah, we got a proper zoo over here.
You eating fruit, Cheetah?
No, I'm eating chili.
Oh, I miss chili.
I made my mom's chili yesterday, so I'm gonna snack on that for a couple days.
No, that you don't need an alarm clock tomorrow. That's the good thing about eating stuff like that. So, how did the episode end? Actually, you got to remind me because I'm struggling here.
I mean, they
gave them a replicator. They gave them a replicator with a pizza. And
I just remember Tendi has these moments of outbursts. Yeah, it could be either of joy or anger, and she goes, "We're gonna get pesto." I just absolutely died. I absolutely died. Am I streaming?
And then Boimer.
I'll finish it off.
If they had lobster.
Yeah. Lobster meatloaf or something like that, wasn't it? But yeah. Zam, are you streaming Miles Morales tomorrow? Yes, I'll be finishing. I'm on the final stretch of that. I'll be streaming that exclusively on No Budget Productions. But yes, I'll be doing that. But yeah, I did like that. So because the bridge crew had to deal with the lower decks replicator, I actually thought the replicators could give you anything you wanted. You know, I didn't know it was limited to certain foods. So yeah, that was pretty cool. So that was a nice way to end as well. So the lower decks are going to get better cuisine, and we move on from that. 2 more episodes left in this series, by the way.
Only 2?
Only 2 more after. Yeah, and then we're jumping straight into Prodigy, which I'm looking forward to very much. You should make sure you watch that, Dixie. You watch it with us. I'll fucking send you some links.
Okay.
Yeah, that's
on Nickelodeon, isn't it?
Yeah, it's on Nickelodeon.
It'll also be on Paramount Plus.
Will it be on Paramount Plus? Okay.
Yeah. So, but this series is almost ended now, and it's been pretty much fantastic from start to finish. I mean, I've enjoyed every episode. There hasn't been an episode where I thought I didn't like that, but there's always going to be elements of an episode that doesn't necessarily work for me. Like when Shax returned. I was never a fan of that, but I've accepted it now. I moved on from it. That's how it is. He's back. And not because I don't like Shax. I like Shax a lot. I was absolutely devastated when he died at the end of season 1.
Yeah, but it just cheapened his death.
By bringing him back. Yeah, so if somebody
they cheapened Spock's death too.
I honestly don't think so because they earned
they set it up. They set it up at the end of
episode. Star Trek 2.
Yeah, it sets up in Star Trek 2 when he done that shit on McCoy. So it was already set up, but this felt like an actual proper death. You know, it didn't feel like he was going to be returning anytime soon. It made no sense for him to return, but they did it somehow, and they tried to get his return back by making it into a comedy affair, and it just didn't work for me. You know, when he died, I was almost in tears. You know, I'm dying over a cartoon character who was like a background character on this show, and they're fleshing him out a lot more now. But now you got 2 security officers, which is a bit weird. The 2 chief security officers, which is a bit weird. You know, so
I don't know if the Tamarin is chief anymore. He's probably just a crew member now, like a part of the security team or second in command of security.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I'd like to see more of him because I want to see him trip over metaphors.
Yeah. But it'll be interesting to see, you know, like if they can give us a grand finale like they did last season, which was one of the best finales. You know, yesterday when we did the review of What If, and it was the penultimate episode of What If, you know, about Ultron winning and stuff like that, and it was excellent. And it made me realize how often, when it comes to television shows, the penultimate episode tends to be better than the finale. And the finale of Lower Decks was fucking superb. You know, one of the best finales I've ever come across. So I'm really hoping that we can get another decent finale for this season, you know, on the same sort of level, because that was a very hard finale for them to. They kind of set the bar very high, in my opinion, when it comes to finales. So we'll see what they can do this season. But we're getting there. We've got a penultimate episode next week, finale following week. So we're going to be there very soon. And I'm absolutely gutted the show is ending. But it's been fantastic, and I love it. And for all the people who criticized the show prior to it even being coming out with the first season,
shame on
wrong.
you.
You are wrong. You are wrong. You are wrong. You are wrong. This show is brilliant. This show is absolutely fantastic, and I can't wait for more. I just genuinely. And by the way, we got the Ball Queen in this episode, and that was Alice Krieger from First Contact. That was the same woman who voiced it.
Really? That was the same. Oh, nice.
Yeah, I see.
I didn't realize it was the same one.
Yeah, I know. I said, well, she really sounds like she would do it.
And
hit the wrong button.
And I like the way she blew on Boimler and stuff like
Sorry
that.
about that. Let me
Oh.
Oh.
I think he'll come back.
That's okay.
So tomorrow, we're going to be doing Dark Side Ring. We're going to have to squeeze in Titans at some point. Do you watch Titans at all by any chance, Dixie?
On and off.
Okay, we're on season 3 at the moment of Titans.
Are we talking Dark Side of the Ring Titans or?
Oh no, sorry, Dark Side of the Ring. I'll send you a link for that.
Because wrestling is my jam, so yeah.
Is Admiral? He's back. 1 second. Yeah, Dark Side of the Ring we'll be doing tomorrow, but we'll have to try and squeeze in Titans at some point. Whether we do that tomorrow as well, I don't know. There's so much on the plate. I don't even do TikTok anymore because it's just.
I noticed that.
I can't. You know, it's too demanding.
Yeah, I don't blame you. Zam, you're the workhorse. You really, really are.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, especially after I did my unboxing today as well. So, some lovely shirts I got, and I love this one. I was
going to ask, where did you get that, by the way?
Amazon. Don't kill me. I got it from Amazon.
I don't blame you, man.
I got a whole bunch of shirts, man. I'll send you the link. I did an unboxing today. I got a lot of the shirts are Pride based. Yeah, so rainbows and everything like that. I've got several Star Trek shirts which are Pride based, and a Star Wars one too. And also because I was born in 1977, I've got shirts which are like based around 1977 as well, the year I was born. So
cool.
Yeah.
Cool.
So yeah.
Also, no, I'm not in a locker room. I am at my apartment. These cubes are easier to store shit in, specifically clothes.
Zam is not going to get a water bed, and I won't get a mini fridge. Maybe one day.
Yeah, you need a mini fridge. No offense.
Mini fridge maybe one day, but a water bed, like I said before,
don't.
They are overrated. They are overrated, and if they pop, you're fucked.
Yeah, you are. Your shit's flooded.
This is why you need to.
Actually, my parents have had a water bed for 35 or 6 years since I was little. So, and they've never had an issue with it.
Your parents are very lucky.
Yeah.
Yeah. Very, very lucky.
I have a little thing about the waterbed. They will mess up your back. Because
my parents don't have back issues, and they've had it.
Really?
Yeah. Nope.
Because I had one that fucked my back up badly.
Oh, so have you seen that movie Never Say Never Again? Ever since that that woman got drowned in the waterbed, so it just puts me off. Yeah. So.
What about that Freddy Krueger one where that kid gets like sucked into his waterbed or whatever, and it shows him drowned in there or what have you?
What Nightmare on Elm Street?
Yeah, it's a Nightmare on Elm Street. It's one of
Which one? Which one?
No, he gets pulled into just a regular bed.
That was Johnny Depp, actually.
Oh yeah.
No,
Oh,
no,
that's
that
a
very young
real
Johnny
bed.
Depp.
Johnny Depp that got sucked into his waterbed. I can't remember which one.
I don't
I'm
think it was
wanting
a
to say
waterbed.
4. I'm wanting to say it
Oh,
was
damn,
4.
I vaguely remember. I vaguely remember the. Unfortunately, the Freddy Krueger movies, the Nightmare on Elm Street, have left my memory. Yeah,
Well, I'm a horror nut, so yeah, there you go.
yeah. Unfortunately, certain films of yesteryear, they've left my mind, and now it's been replaced with tragic incidences in my life in the last 44 years.
Or
So
Star Trek trivia.
and Star Trek trivia as well. So, all right then, guys. So I think we pretty much covered all the bases of this particular episode of Lower Decks, and there's more to come from the Tube, as well as No Budget Productions as well. Any more to say, fellas, before we close up shop?
Nope.
Not
I
really.
draw.
I'm all set. No, I'm all set today. I'm gonna go
Fantastic.
eat something.
So once again, you'll catch us tomorrow, definitely for Dark Side of the Ring, and either myself or Cousin Cheetah will be on Cynical, Not Critical, as well for the following day.
I have a question. Who is the Dark Side of the Ring going to be on again?
It's about a guy called Onita, I think. He was somebody who did deathmatch wrestling. Let me just quickly look.
Ah, okay.
Everybody, just so you know, do not put
Yeah,
your...
Onita FMW. I'll send you a trailer
Okay.
of him. I'll just send it to you onto contributors on Facebook. There you go. That's the trailer for it,
Thank you.
and that will be on tomorrow. Once we get the proper link for it, I'll send it to you guys. And if you want to join us for that, please do. It'll be Dark Side of the Ring. It's just a fantastic show. Well, you should watch the previous 2 episodes of this season. The previous one was on the plane ride from hell.
Oh yeah, I remember that one. Oh,
That was a really fantastic episode. And what was the other one? The other one was Chris Canyon.
Yeah.
And him, the double life of Chris Canyon, because he was bipolar and he was also a closeted homosexual. And back then being
schizophrenia and all that. Ooh.
Oh man, do you remember that episode of SmackDown where he came out of this closet out of all places? He came out of this closet and he was singing, "Do You Really Want to Hurt Me" by Boy George with a lisp. And then Undertaker, who was American Badass back then, he got a chair and beat the living shit out of him.
Oh,
Yeah, and back then they were doing headshots with the chair and stuff.
oh yeah.
Oh yeah, they
Concussion
buried
City.
him literally. With the
Yeah,
chair.
he came back from injury, and they absolutely buried him. And Chris Canyon, his issues were, even though he dabbled in drugs just very, very little compared to other wrestlers. It was nothing compared to other wrestlers. He just generally had some proper mental conditions because he was bipolar. The way he treated Jim Marshall, he might as well have been his fucking wife. You know what I mean? Jim Marshall was his manager. And 1 minute he was cool with him, then he would be shitting on him and stuff like that. I never got to speak about this because I went to bed early so I could join Frank here for Critical, Not Cynical. But yeah, that was a really good episode. I really wish I joined you guys for that one. But yeah. All right then, fellas. We are done. Thank you very much for watching. I just want to say to you all, live long and prosper, and don't forget to like, share, subscribe, not only to No Budget Productions, but also to NerdTube. We are the greatest YouTube channel you never fucking heard of, and I will see all of you cunts later. Bye-bye.